Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Jarrett Goes to the Movies, a weekly podcast where Jarrett Reddick and friends get together and talk about a movie that they watched that week. Plus, whatever the hell else is on their minds. Get ready for the best hour and a half you'll have in the next hour and a half. Here they are, Eric, Casey, Sean, Amy, and because he's famous, his name's on the show, Jarrett. Welcome to Jarrett Goes to the Movies.
And now, Jarrett Goes to the Movies presents everyone's favorite podcast game show. It's time for 5 questions, where we ask 6 questions, and the high score is 7. Here's your host, Jarrett Reddick.
Yes, here I am. Thank you, Jarrett Reddick, checking in, your host for 5 questions. Welcome, everybody, to the show. We have some great players tonight, and one who's not that great. So we'll introduce them. I guess, technically speaking, with a winning percentage of 100%, has won every game that he's played. We would like to welcome Ad Craner to the show tonight. 1 for 1, percentage-wise.
All right.
Our very best player. Oh, I don't have the little applause thing, so that's going to make it weird. So sorry. You just have to imagine.
We'll make it applause.
Jarrett.
I normally simulate that, yeah. I think Ad beat me when he was on here the last time. He got it like with the last question. Was it the Men in Black episode?
Yeah, that's the one.
I was gutted. Yeah, you pulled that out of your hat, man. Good job.
Really did.
And just a bunch of like American-centric names he should have no business knowing. And
yeah, absolutely. I still don't believe I knew, to be fair.
It was wild. Also with us tonight, my favorite, and he better not be yours, Josh Millman. Welcome to the show.
How's it going, folks?
How are things down your way?
Oh, buddy. Really looking forward to summer because these kids are driving me nuts.
Last 6 weeks of school, they get senioritis. So do you.
I mean, they're 7th and 8th graders, though. So it's just, I don't know what they're, getting senioritis over. They just get to go back to high school next year or whatever. But
I know, but they all get so horny and weird at this age.
You're not wrong.
You're just like,
both of those things, and it's really funky.
Mr. Millman. Well, weird. Well, we're glad you're here. You are, let's see, 9 wins in 25 appearances, which means that theoretically you could win your second 5-win pocket plaque tonight. You'll never see it.
So they tell me. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So they tell me.
Win it. So that would be cool. Also with us tonight with 6 wins and 27 appearances, Melody Ortloff. Welcome,
That's not
Melody.
Me. I've only been on 4 times.
Oh yeah, that was Zaldor, right? So how many
yeah.
times do you think you've won?
I know I've won 2 out of 4.
Oh,
Okay, well then that's a really good winning percentage. I'm just going to update it right now. I'm sure Sean will do that. Welcome, 2 wins out of 4.
As I say, I have not been on 27 times. I know that.
That didn't sound right, and I'm literally the one who just replaced your name on the list and didn't update the score part. But I would have no idea how to do that anyway. Well, welcome, a 500 winning percentage, which is also really good. And last but not least, getting no sleep at all, new father, Gage Stricklin. Welcome.
Thank you.
You are 1 win in your 8 attempts. So that is by my quick math, 12.5% win percentage.
All right.
So not bad. All right. Are you guys ready to play 5 questions?
Absolutely.
Can you all write down your answers?
I can't write.
Okay, Gage can't write. So Gage will have to go first every time. And then
I have a brand new packet of Post-its, but no fucking pen.
do you have something that you can cut your finger
I was going
with?
to say right with blood.
No, I can't.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. It was a fair question, I think. All right. So I will play the role of Jarrett in this. I'll ask the first 5 questions, and then Sean, Greg, unfortunately, will have to be me, and then without the crippling depression and anxiety. And then Greg will also be Sean. So I fully expect that he'll say, your categories are... We'll find out shortly. All right. So here we go. Question number 1. In the movie Uncle Buck, the Russells' first choice for babysitting are their neighbors, the Nevilles. But the Nevilles can't watch the kids because they are on vacation. Where? Where did the Nevilles go on vacation, precluding them from being able to watch the children? And that really, if you didn't watch the movie, sets the scene for them having to call Uncle Buck and he comes in. Had they accepted? Had they been in town? I don't know. Movie's really short. All right.
Say, I have notes, but I literally can't remember what they mean, and I can't read what my own cryptic notes mean. So this should be fun.
You should have sent a fax to yourself from the future.
Yes.
Where you already knew all the answers. I don't know. We'll figure that out later. All right, Gage, what do you say?
Margaritaville. I have no idea.
Was in Margaritaville. All right. Ad Creener.
I've gone Florida. In fairness, I have no clue.
Florida. Josh Millman.
Florida.
Florida. Melody Ortloff.
I said Jamaica.
Jamaica. 2 of you were correct. Ad and Josh, each with a point on that. Insert
single
clapping, insert clapping sounds here. All right. Question number 2. Jared always does this off the top of his head. That would fucking freak me out. So I don't do it that way. In the movie Uncle Buck, what radio station does Buck say that he's broadcasting from while he's making breakfast his first morning in the house? He's doing his radio voice, and we're coming to you live from W. What? That is the question. And here I told Greg earlier, everybody's going to get all of these correct. The looks on your faces say otherwise. All right. Pins down. Gage.
WKPPL. I don't know.
Okay.
That's one of the ones I was going to write down, too. That sucks.
Yeah.
Dang it. Let's see. Josh Millman.
Yeah, WBR.
WBR. Melody.
I said WKRP.
Cincinnati. An ad.
I've got nothing written down. No idea.
Got nothing. It was I don't have to go to work today. Was the radio station that he was broadcasting live from. All right. 1-1 to 0-0. Still anybody's game, mathematically speaking, as you know. Maybe not emotionally. All right. So for number 3, in the movie Uncle Buck, what does Miles say is his record for most consecutive questions asked? They are talking over the breakfast table, Buck and Miles. And Buck asks him, how many questions in a row is your record? And Miles answers with what? It is a number. I will give you a hint, if that helps. A number between 1 and 50,000.
That narrows it down.
And yes, I figured we'll take away anything over 50,000. That leaves you with just a smaller subset of answers. All right, Gage, what do you think?
Again, this is another one that I was going to write down. 27.
Okay. Melody.
38.
38. Ad.
I got 28. Did go 27, but 28.
27 and 28. And Josh?
38.
38. Melody and Josh both correct. 38 is the correct answer there. Sean, add in some applause here. Oh, look at you. That's not bad.
Hey. No, stadium cheers.
Hey, I came with surprises. I got my own soundboard here, so I'm like, I should probably get some applause on this thing. And so I pulled something up.
Well, thank
Surprise.
You. Way to go, bud. Man, I'm impressed. I'll be replaced here in no time, Greg. Don't you worry about it.
All
right. I think we're at question number 4 for you guys. And we are talking, of course, about the movie Uncle Buck. In the movie Uncle Buck, what does Buck think that Bug's last name might be? In the movie Uncle Buck, what does Buck think that Bug's last name might be? Give you just a moment here.
I don't remember that one.
Hey, Greg, are you downloading Roadhouse and...
I should. I probably could.
I forget what other ones he uses. 100%.
Oh yeah, I don't have any of those. I don't. I have this one. So I have that, and that's what we use on my podcast. So that's one of my favorites.
Oh, you have a bunch of like Eagles chants and fly.
No,
Eagles
well,
fly
we do, but we have some other stuff too. So.
Well, don't play that.
I got this one. This is for the Cowboys.
Oh no, we suck again.
So.
I wonder if the average Philadelphia fan would trade their 1 Super Bowl ring for our 5 that we've got. I don't know.
I don't know. Ours was pretty special. Ours was pretty up against the Brady.
When you never win anything, getting one is special. All right.
Right.
Promised I wouldn't turn this into that, but here we are. All right, Gage, what did Uncle Buck think that Bug's last name might be?
Spray.
Spray. All right. Ad Craner?
Yeah, Spray.
Josh?
Spray.
Spray.
I was wrong. I said Bunny. Bugs Bunny.
Clever.
I like it, but it is incorrect. So Gage and Ad and Josh all with a point for that one. So we are moving on to my last question for you guys, and it is Josh with 3, Ad with 2, Gage and Melody, you each have 1. I think that still means it's anybody's game, and really it is until this bullshit way that we end the whole thing anyway. So here we go. This is my last question. Question number 5. In the movie Uncle Buck, how does Buck first introduce himself to the assistant principal at Maisie's school? I need the full answer. Just the first time he says a couple of things throughout that conversation, but the first time he introduces himself to her, how does he introduce himself to the assistant principal at Maisie's school? And one of the better scenes in this film, I think, for sure. All right, take another moment or two to get back into the brain recesses. Gage, do you have a guess for this one?
I have no fucking clue.
He has. Okay, thanks, Vinny. Josh?
Melanoma.
Do you have his full introduction?
I remember that.
I mean, the whole damn. I don't know the whole damn thing.
Well, it's only 5
melanoma
words.
face. There's a whole kit and caboodle there.
5 words.
Melanoma face, black head, buck. Yeah.
All right, close. Melody?
I had no idea. I wrote Your Worst Nightmare.
Okay, and Ad, do you know this one?
No, I've got melanoma down. That's all.
Yeah.
That is a part of it. I can't give
Yeah.
credit to anybody. He said he introduces himself as Buck Melanoma, Molly Russell's wart, as he's looking at the little thing, which then got later ripped off by Austin Powers in a very,
Moly, 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 moly.
very deliberate way. All right, so that is it for me. We have a very close game. Still, Josh with 3, Ad with 2, Gage, Melody with 1 apiece. I don't think that I have the song for this, so let's just do Greg Lee's off on a tangent again.
There we go. This is what you get when you get the B team, so nothing we can do about it. Actually, I don't consider myself part of the B team, but I'm just glad to be here tonight, to be honest with you. So this is off on a tangent question. This is normally Eric's gig, so I'm going to try to go as far off on a tangent as I can. So John Candy, we know, stars as Uncle Buck and was in plenty of John Hughes films, but he got his start in this improv comedy group's television show, that also starred Rick Moranis and Eugene Levy out of Canada. What was the name of the show?
That's a good question. And that is the whole point of the off on a tangent again question is you need to go 2 degrees of separation from the actual movie, something that happened in the movie, and you've accomplished that. So,
yeah. So who's up?
kudos.
Who is up? Would you want to give him a few more minutes?
Oh my
or
gosh,
anything?
let's see. Well, Gage has to go first.
Okay. Oh, that's right. All right, go ahead, Gage.
So I know it's the group. I don't know if it was the show, but the Groundlings.
Okay. Melody.
No fucking clue.
Okay. Vinny started a trend. Ad.
I'm on the Vinny train as well. No clue.
Okay. Josh.
I went with the Kenosha Kickers.
That is a polka group.
That is very good. No, the TV show was called SCTV, which was like a rival to Saturday Night Live, Second City Television. Just a sketch show that they had on there. Yeah. That he went
And I
on.
had like almost had Second City in my head because I was like, what is that comedy group? I should not know.
Very good. All right. So where do we oh, here we go.
Okay.
So there we go.
All right. So what we have to do here is Ad, you can sit back and just hang out and vape and know that you did not lose today, but you did not win either. So with 2 points, you're kind of just hanging out while we figure out who the winner is tonight. We have a tiebreaker situation here because Gage and Melody each only have 1 question correct. Figure out who's going to go up against Josh here in this last round. I have the tiebreaker here. So it is a numbers game, just like it always is. Uncle Buck was one of the first films that replaced kids' music of choice, at parties or whatever, from rock music to rap music. The house party scene, specifically towards the end, features Young MC's 1989 smash hit Bust a Move. How many Spotify streams does the song Bust a Move by Young MC have as of 2:58 this afternoon when Greg and I were texting each other about what we were going to do tonight? How many Spotify streams does Bust a Move have as of 3:00 this afternoon? Gage, you've gone first this whole time. So Melody, we're going to go with you first.
Because I'm mature, I put 69,420 69,420,000.
All right. I love it. Gage, what do you think?
583,269.
583,000.
269.
269. Well, you were 81 million off, Gage. Melody, actually very, very close with your 69,420,000. 81 million is the and some change is the correct answer. So Melody, you are up against Josh to answer Sean's super hard question. Now, you guys tell me, because this is usually the part where I stop paying attention when we're over at Jarrett's. Does Melody have to answer this, or Josh, do you just get to choose whether you want to answer it or she wants to answer it?
It only I get to answer it because
She
only if it's a
answers
tie
and then-
for
yeah.
first do they both get
Okay.
to answer it.
Having been the victim of this question many times, so the person in last gets to answer it regardless. There's no
It's gone back and forth because the one time that I won
yeah.
is because they decided not to let me answer it and the other guy answered it.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Now, see, I probably would have taken that choice on a few of them, but
I got no questions right when I won.
oh wow, it did. But you won the hard question. So yeah, so Sean did that to me one time. He had the super hard question. I got it, and it was what were the 4 colors of the girls' bicycles in the movie Now and Then, and I nearly passed out from the anxiety. So yeah. So okay. So Melody, what we've got here is we've got 3 categories for you to choose from.
Hey,
We've
Greg,
got.
give me just 1
Oh,
second, okay?
what do you got? What do you got there? Oh,
I gotta say goodnight. Good night, sweetheart.
Oh,
I love you. Mwah. Say goodnight,
a beautiful unscripted moment.
Night.
Night night.
Say good luck answering your question.
Answering your question.
All right. Love you, sweetheart. Mwah.
It was a beautiful unscripted moment, or was it? Was he really just trying to play to the audience's emotions there? Because we don't have Jared here tonight, he's trying to get sympathy.
Texting Kelsey, send in the cute kids. It's going nowhere.
The puppies will be next.
I don't know if I can handle it.
After that, I'm stripping. So let's just see how it goes.
See how long it goes tonight. All right, so Melody, we got 3 categories for you tonight. We got mung beans, it's showtime, or smoking. Which one would you like?
Smoking.
All right. When Uncle Buck says that he plans to quit smoking in a 5-year plan, what is the last item that he is going to utilize to achieve this task?
Yeah.
I honestly don't remember that at all. So, yay, you got it, Josh.
Do you want to throw a guess? No guess? No guess? All right. Well, the answer, Josh, do you have a guess?
It's nicotine gum.
There you go. That's it.
I should have just guessed that. But yeah. I would think that would be the first step.
You think? I forget everything he says.
He's going to go to cigars.
Yes.
Then pipes, then chewing tobacco, and then nicotine gum.
There he goes.
That's right.
That's right. Well, this is big because not only the satisfaction, Josh, of just being a winner in general, the added satisfaction of being probably the sexiest person to ever play 5 questions.
Hey.
Besides Greg. But also, congratulations, you have just won your second 5 wins pocket plaque. Very excellent work.
Uncle Buck.
We are prepared for a speech if you have one. That is totally, just don't slap anybody.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Only speech I got is that Uncle Buck plays a major role in my family. I was in 2nd grade and I broke my arm. But my aunt and uncle were in town, and my parents had to rush me off to the hospital, get my arm checked out. So my rather eccentric uncle had to show up to my sister's high school in his rickety ass van, backfiring in the whole bit, and pick them up like that. And they had no clue what was going on. They hadn't seen the guy in a year or two. And they're like, and he was like, "Come on, girls, we're getting in." And the shock and horror stuck around so long that we still call him Uncle Buck. Not his name, but awesome. We're like, "Oh, how's Buck? Oh yeah, he's doing all right." So that's this holds significance. So I'm glad it was this movie.
All right, very cool. Well, congratulations again, but thank you all very much for participating. We really appreciate it. You guys' support is the only thing that keeps me and Sean coming around. I know. I think the rest would probably do it for fun, but I would not. And so I do thank you guys a whole bunch. So until next time, be excellent to each other. We'll see you guys.
What does he like to drink? The water?
Yes, he drinks water. I would keep some water out.
I've been leaving the toilet seats up. Yeah. Is that what the blue water is? It's not good for him, huh?
Oh, God.
That might account for something. Nothing. Just an odd coloration out on the grass.
Buck, I just want you to know it makes me feel very scared to know that you're there. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye.
The discoloration on the lawn.
It's just the delivery is so good. Well, that would account for yeah. But I love the mom. She knows she's in a bad spot. Yeah. And she's doing everything she can. To me, it is anti-cliche. It is to me. So I did well, the thing is, I did for my master's degree, believe it or not. I'm a big movie buff, so I decided that when I got my master's degree, I would do it in something I'm interested in. I didn't even care if it meant anything. So I went to film school, and I did it for Arizona State. And so I did everything online, but I did for 2 years, everything learning about making movies. And one of the things that I thought that was really odd to me when they talked about writing a screenplay was they literally teach you this. Every scene has to have, and this is what they teach now, has to have some sort of conflict. So every scene, no matter what it is some character either arguing or trying to get something from the other character. So what I like about this scene is the mother doesn't challenge him. She doesn't argue with him. You see the pain in her face because she wants to. She wants to go, "You are a freaking moron. What are you doing at my house?" But instead, she swallows it. You can see the tears. You can see them in her eyes. She knows that it's a shit show at her house and she can't do anything about it. So she's just going to say, "Thank you." And that really gets to me. Thank you so much for what you're doing.
You're there.
So I think, honestly, so my thing is for me, like when because I do write a little bit, I've been trying to write screenplays, stuff like that. I try to not follow those rules. I think that it's okay for there to be scenes in a film and in a story where characters genuinely do the admirable thing, like the mom does here, where I think that really identifies you with you. You don't have to have conflict all the time. You can have joy. You can have some sort of sacrifice that makes it, to me, more important and more into the story. So yeah,
I'm looking at this list of movies that we have recently done because it's part of the notes package that we have here. I think a recent movie that we talked about that does just what you're talking about is Napoleon Dynamite. But without even getting into the merits of that movie, remember when that movie came out and everyone said, "I don't even know how to describe this movie to you." You know, it was such a weird thing. And I wonder if that has something to do with it, that it wasn't an hour and a half, an hour and 40, 2 hours of just feeling like you're getting tossed from one problem to another. And the film gave you time to breathe, gave the characters time to breathe, gave in Napoleon Dynamite specifically, the scenery, the small town Idaho feel to have a kind of a life, a character of its own. You know, I wonder, it seems to me like there's something to that. I mean, I didn't get a master's degree in film. I do have a master's degree in keeping it real, though. You know,
I'm not trying to be pretentious. I'm just saying this is where I get this from. I was taught that, and I was like, I don't. You know, when you're in school and somebody says, "Well, this is how it works," I'm like, I don't believe that. You know, I was taught that writing a screenplay, it was like you have the hook. Yep. So, and it changed the way I look at movies completely.
Really?
Because now when I watch a movie, I know that you're trying to hook me. I know watch any horror movie or any action movie. The first 5 minutes before they get to the credits is all about hooking the audience. So there's some innocuous scene where something big happens and then they go, "Ooh," and then the credits roll and then they either go 5 years earlier or they do that thing with then now we're going to let the movie begin.
Has there been anything since you went through your advanced degree in film and filmography at Arizona State University? Has anything
that sounds so bad. Sounds very condescending there.
No, I'm not. I'm just being funny. But since you went through that and know what you know and learned what you learned, and like you said, you're working on your own scripts and stuff, has there been a movie that you used to like that now you look at and go, well, that kind of, I frame this movie in a different way because I kind of see that it's too gimmicky, too tricky, too formulaic, too whatever?
You know, it doesn't affect the movies that I watched when I was younger, because those still have kind of a nostalgia magic for it.
Mm-hmm.
It did ruin new stuff. Like I would watch something new and I could see the writing, and I didn't like that. When I learned about how to dissect the writing, I didn't like today's movies where I can kind of see what they're doing. I'm like, oh, I see what you're doing. I see, because it's when you go through the course, it's like you got the hook, you got the 3-act script, you've got the stakes that are raised, you got the introductions to the world, you've got the stakes are raised, the stakes get higher, then they reach a climactic point where everything all is lost. It's a similar formula, even in Uncle Buck. You could even apply it to Uncle Buck, and it's got the introduction to the new world where Uncle Buck comes in this new world. The stakes keep getting higher. And that's the whole thing that they teach you, is that throughout the course of a movie, that everything has to get higher and higher until it reaches a peak. And then the bottom falls out, and then it all resolves itself and everybody's happy in the end. And that's the same thing in Uncle Buck that it does in most. So while it doesn't affect what I've watched in the past, because I have that kind of rose-colored glasses of nostalgia to look through, it does affect like the new stuff I watch. But like when you see a movie that defies those conventions, you can appreciate it more. And that's what I like. Honestly, one of my favorite films of all time, Godfather Part 2. They don't follow those conventions. It is just telling the story as it is. You don't know where it's going to go. Not every scene has to be a conflict. It can be a discussion. It can be just whatever.
Do you think it's easier to do that in kind of an epic narrative like these really long Godfather movies than it is when you're packaging up a movie for an audience with the attention span that will last no longer than an hour 40? I mean, I bet you the market research shows, easy for me to say, that an hour 40 is, like a 3 minutes is the perfect pop song. Hour 40 is the perfect movie. But then it's hard to write. It's hard to build space when the entire story that you have to tell has to be told. But I think the benefit that The Godfather had and some of these other, films that are longer is that you get room to breathe, or you turn it into a trilogy, or you're able to do whatever. And so
I think that's a great point. I think it's one of those things that with today's movies, it is, we do have a shorter attention span, not only because of Facebook, but TikTok and everything else. We want fast entertainment. And I'll be honest, even when I watch a new movie, if you don't get me in the first 30 minutes, I'm going to be on my phone.
I don't remember how long that Hateful Eight was that we watched. I feel like it was longer. Why are you laughing? Because that movie was good.
It is good. It is good.
All shot in one room.
Yes.
All dialogue, all character interaction. But I mean, it does fit some of what you're talking about. Stakes keep getting higher. And something grabs you, and but I think you can take that formula and turn it into something really brilliant. It's not like Quentin Tarantino isn't aware of this formula.
Oh yeah.
But to take it and do something interesting with it, maybe is even more impressive than just breaking all the rules. Because then you can just do anything you want, whether it's successful or not. But when you know the formula and you can make a masterpiece that still fits that, then that's, kind of some next level space brain shit.
The reason I laughed was because Tarantino subverts. He's one of the few guys that can subvert all of the conventional modern movie making techniques. One of the things that they would teach you in modern movie making is unless somebody's in the middle of a monologue, no character should have more than 3 sentences of dialogue before the next character speaks. But Tarantino doesn't do that. If you watch a Tarantino film, like the opening of Inglourious Bastards, with Christoph Waltz, will speak for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
While he's sitting there, and it builds suspense. So he does something that no movie maker does. He's kind of the anomaly out there, and because Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction were such successes, he's allowed to do that.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. It's a chicken and egg thing, right?
Yes, nobody else gets away with that shit other than Tarantino. And you have to prove yourself to be able to do that. Some of these guys come in and that's what they do. Look at J.J. Abrams, who does like the Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff like that. Everybody told him Guardians of the Galaxy was going to flop because nobody wanted a colorful sci-fi comedy Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
But he let somebody convince him to do it anyway. Now the guy writes his own checks as far as what he wants to do.
And then he spends half of those checks on lens flare.
Did I say J.J. Abrams? I don't mean J.J. No, I meant, what's his name? James Gunn. Sorry, James Gunn.